אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
And so, my friends, it's with our song of welcome, our song of community, Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad, that I welcome you all here on this beautiful Monday morning to celebrate community, to celebrate family, to celebrate the new month, the month of Shevat, but most particularly to celebrate as a young lady becomes bat mitzvah. Hopefully, as you came into our sanctuary this morning, you picked up a copy of our Mishkan Tefillah. It is the smaller of the two blue books, and it is the one that says Mishkan Tefillah on the front, as distinct from that which says Torah on the front. They often get mistaken with one another. But we will be moving our way through the weekday morning services with a few additions for Rosh Chodesh, and a few changes because our bat mitzvah let me know that she's going to have so many of her younger friends and family in, and so this morning's celebration will feel far more like one of our family services than one of our Shabbat services. But we will be in a few moments on page 30, so I invite you to turn there. And you'll notice, for those of you who are less familiar with our prayer book, that throughout our Siddur we have both the traditional Hebrew as well as the transliteration and the translation, all of which is intended to allow you to join in as much as you possibly can. And we invite you to do that because this morning we are a community and we are celebrating the coming of age of a wonderful young lady. What we are not is an audience, which means we are participating wherever we can. Let's do that right now by returning to the words of this psalm, Psalm 117. It's not the pages on the prayer book, but rather the words of our hearts that say how good, how pleasant, how downright awesome it is for us to be together, brothers, sisters, family and friends. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov
So with words and songs of welcome completed, we have one final act of preparation, and that is to invite our bat mitzvah up onto the bimah together with her parents for the presentation of her talit. Amen. Amen. We're going to continue with a word of explanation. As I said in welcoming you here, today is also, as well as being a beautiful Monday morning, and we could read Torah on Monday morning. It is also Rosh Chodesh, and that makes it a doubly appropriate day to be celebrating a bat mitzvah. And I'm going to allow our bat mitzvah to give us a little bit of that context. In fact, I'm not going to allow, I'm going to invite our bat mitzvah to give us a little of that context.
Rosh Chodesh means head of the month or beginning of the month. It is celebrated at the beginning of every Hebrew month based on the lunar calendar. Half of the months are 30 days long and the other half are 29 days long. For the months that are 30 days long, Rosh Chodesh is celebrated for 2 days, the last day of the previous month and the first day of the new month. I appreciate that this is a little complicated, but having gone over this many times with my dad, I can assure you that today is the first day of the month of Shevat, which is 30 days long. This makes today the second day of Rosh Chodesh, but the first day of the month. We are here to celebrate the beginning of the month of Shevat. This is significant to me. My parashah is from the book of Genesis, Bereshit, which is the first of 5 books in the Bible. I will be reading a portion which discusses the movement of the sun and moon. This has become a basis of our Jewish calendar. My parashah also references the planting of trees and the rejuvenation of the environment. This is a key theme of the festival to Shevat, which is a high point of the month, but more about that later. Rosh Chodesh has long been considered a special holiday for Jewish women. Some say that this is because the women of Israel did not offer their jewelry for the creation of the golden calf. As a result, they were given Rosh Chodesh as a day they could be free from work. To this day, some women refrain from some forms of labor on Rosh Chodesh. Whatever the reason, Rosh Chodesh, it has long been time for Jewish women to gather for a variety of activities. This includes delivering traditional rituals and to share a Gabil, discussing Jewish ethics, and working for a social change. In my mind, this is a perfect day for a bat mitzvah.
In my mind too, which is why we are here. Continuing with our prayer of community, our prayer of sanctuary, Matovu, on page 30.
Israel.
forward to page 32 and 34, we arrive at our prayers for our well-being, both our physical well-being, and both of you and I could benefit from this. We both have the sniffles. And then our spiritual wholeness. I invite you to join with us in the Hebrew on page 32. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatsa et adam b'chokhma uvara vo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei kiseh kvodecha, she'im yipater echad mehem, או יסתר אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים לעמוד לפניך, ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. And those that follow, the Nisim B'chol Yom offered by our Bat Mitzvah responsively.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sakvi bina lefkin ben yom uven laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah ha'aretz al chavayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzradei gaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harubim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layaref koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hameir shena be'enai u'nuba be'afapai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'atzani bat hori.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, odei Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, otei Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
אמן. הרב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו, ופי עמך בית ישראל, והנה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו לידי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. On page 44, our study for today, the words of the Talmud. אלו דברים.
אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, ואלו הם. אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, ואלו הם. כיבוד אב ואם, מילות חסדים, והשכמת בית המדרש, שחרית וערבית. אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, ואלו הם. בהכנסת אורחים וביקור עולים, בהכנסת כלה וביד המת, בדיון תפילה, בדיון תפילה, ואהבת שלום בין אדם לחברו. תלמוד תורה כנגד כולם, תלמוד תורה כנגד כולם, תלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, ואלו הם.
How are you feeling? Good. Warmed up?
Yeah.
Great, because that was the end of our warm-up.
Okay.
We move forward to page 50 to our Sukkei de Zimra, our verses of song and celebration, beginning with the words of Baruch She'amar.
ברוך שאמר והיה העולם,
ברוך הוא,
ברוך עושה וראשית,
ברוך אומר ועושה,
ברוך גוזר ומקיים,
ברוך מרחם על הארץ,
ברוך מרחם על הבריות,
ברוך משלם שכר טוב ליראיו,
ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח,
ברוך מודה ומציל, ברוך שמו.
With songs of praise we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty, for you are the source of life of the universe. One God, life of the universe, praised and glorious ruler. Your name is eternal. Baruch Ata Adonai, Melech Mulal Batish Bachot. For those of you who are familiar with the flow of the service, perhaps more familiar with the flow of the Shabbat service, ordinarily we would move straight into Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, a psalm for Shabbat and the Sabbath day, but today is not that, as you said in your introduction.
Yeah.
It is Rosh Chodesh, it is Monday,
Yeah.
and so the psalm of celebration that we offer is that on page 100, one which, if we were to sing, is not familiar to many, but we're going to have you read it because it is the perfect psalm for today. It is the psalm of thanksgiving, the psalm of appreciation. Appreciation for a bat mitzvah, appreciation for family and friends, appreciation for this beautiful country, and we're celebrating Australia Day this weekend. Appreciation of the new month in our tradition, the month of Shevat. Appreciation of the new year in Chinese tradition, Kung Hei Fat Choi. I still remember that from Hong Kong. Lita, you too? And a few other things, but it is our psalm of celebration. Could you share it with us?
A psalm of thanksgiving. Raise a shout to God, all the earth. Worship the Eternal One in the gladness. Come into God's presence with shouts of joy. Acknowledge that the Eternal is God. God made us and we are God's. God's people flock God's tents. Enter God's gates with praise, God's courts and with acclamation. Praise God. Bless God's name, for the eternal is good. God's steadfast love is eternal. God's faithfulness is for all generations.
And from Psalm 100, we turn the page and continue as a bat mitzvah continues to lead us with Psalm 145, Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha.
Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha, Od Yalelucha Selah.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו.
תפילה לדוד, ארוממך אלוהיך מלך, ברווחה שמך לעולם ועד.
בכל יום אברכך, בעלה שמך לעולם ועד.
גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, ולגדולתו עד הקר.
גדול גדול ישתבח מעשיך, וגבורתך יגידו.
הדר כבוד הודיך, ולדברי נפלאותיך עשיך.
ועזוז מורתך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה.
זרעיו טבחוך יבירו, וצדקתך ירננו.
חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים גדול חסד.
טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך.
כבוד מלכותה יאמרו, וגבורתה ירבנו.
להודיע לבני אדם גבורותיו, וכבוד אדם מלכותו.
מלכות המלכות כל עולמים, וממשלת הלכה בעודו ודו.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, וזוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיני כל אליך יסברו, ונתן נותן לכם את עולם ביתו.
פותח את ידיך, ומצביע לכל חי רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דבריו, וצית בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, וכל אשר יקראו באמת.
רצון יריב יוצא, ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל השעים ישמיד.
תהילת אדוני ידע בפי, בבירי כל בשר שם קודשו, לעולם ועד.
ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, hallelujah.
And as we turn forward to page 55, and to the last of all of the Psalms, Psalm 150, I want to let you in on a little conversation the two of us had a few weeks ago, when our bat mitzvah asked me, what happens if all the people that come to services don't know the service and aren't able to join in? And I said, well, we'll find a prayer and a melody where they won't be able to help themselves. We'll make them join in. That's this chance. You might not know the words of the 150th Psalm, entitled Hallelujah, but you certainly know this melody. אתה אדוני, המלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודעות, אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך מלכי העולמים. On page 57, we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish in advance of the call to prayer.
Amen.
Please be seated and turn forward with me to page 60 as we continue with the morning prayer, the Yotzei Or. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzei Or uvarei choshech, Oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Ha'me'il haaretz l'darim aleha barachamim, uvtovo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chocha asita, mahala haaretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha. ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארוך הסלע, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני, יוצא המאורות. Blessed you, Eternal One, Creator of the heavenly lights. As we turn forward to Ahava Rabbah on page 62, we see that on the left-hand page, our prayer of love, commitment and appreciation has been faced with the words of the Ten Commandments as an alternative reading. And I invite our bat mitzvah to lead us in this very alternative but very significant Ahava Rabbah.
Anochi Adonai Elohecha, Asher Hatzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mi'beit avadim. I am your eternal God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo hihyeh lecha Elohim al purim al panai. You should not have any other gods besides me. Lo tisachet Shem Adonai Elohecha lashav. You shall not swear falsely under the name of Adonai your God. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekodsho. Remember Shabbat and keep it holy. Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha. Honor your father and your mother. Lo tisach, you shall not murder. Lo tin'af, you shall not commit adultery. Lo tiknor, you shall not steal. Lo ta'aneh verei acha ed shaker. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Lo tachmod, you shall not covet.
Shema
בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר נוהגים מצווך היום על בבך, לשנתם לבניך ותראתה בם לשוטך וראיתך ובלבתך בתרך ובשומך ובקומך ושתם לאור על ידיך, והיו לו תותפות בין עיניך, וטוב טוב על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Top of page 68.
ויאמר אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ונתתם ויעשו לכם ציצית על כנפי בגדיכם לדורתם ונענו על ציצית הכנף בטלטי חלק והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו ושחקתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריכם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Ebet, that word that directly follows after the recitation of the Shema and the Vahafta. Emet means truth. And the reason we continue straight after the Shema with this word of truth is because we want evidence that the promise and the potential that is discussed in the Shema will be realized. The evidence we give for ourselves and is given to us is that of the past. But you also wanted some truth on this journey. You sat in my office about 6 weeks ago telling me that you couldn't do this, that this was all going to be a bit scary, there was a bit much and you weren't sure. And we tried to do something and the next thing I knew you were kind of running over and hiding in my couch. It's important for us to be honest about that because that's what this... No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. Because the other truth is that 6 weeks later, you're not face down in my couch in my office, but up on this bimmer, absolutely rocking it. And the thing that surprised me, it wasn't in that first meeting, but in the second meeting, it shouldn't surprise me because I have a child your age too, is while we're discussing your Torah portion, your phone rang. And there was a particular melody in your ringtone that day. And when I think about the notion of truth and the notion of how far you've come and how you've developed this great sense of self-belief and confidence, not developed but earned this great sense of, I think it's very much captured both in the words that we're about to sing on page 72 and the melody of your ringtone, because that's the tune we're going to use for this song. Because I think they're both very true.
Here's a little song I wrote, might want to sing it note for note, don't worry. Be happy.
Yeah, you know the words, come on.
Here's a little song I wrote, might want to sing it note for note, don't worry. Be happy. Let's see how good you can whistle now.
Let's try it again.
מי חמוך באלים אדוני, don't worry. Be happy. מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, don't worry. Be happy. נועד תהילות אוספי happy. Sing it, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing it, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright.
Baruch Ata Adonai and Gaal Yisrael. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who redeems Israel, and all of us, please God, with it. We turn forward to page 74 to our Amidar and we rise. We'll be offering the first three blessings of the Amidar together as a congregation before continuing silently. You may want to continue with the words of the prayers on the pages of the Siddur, or you might prefer instead to use it as an opportunity for some silent prayer and reflection. And if the younger members of our congregation want to keep chatting, talking, giggling, well, that is the sound of my prayer, so please don't shush them. We are on page 74 as we rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehiratecha baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'hanora, Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, U'mevii Geulah Livnei Bneihem, Le'man Shemo Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Yisrael Tzara. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh metim atah, Rav ve'Hoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morit hageshem, Masriach hashemesh u'morit hatal. Mechakeh chayim bechesed, mechayeh metim ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו של אהבה. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומשמיח ישועה, ונאמנתה לחיות מתים. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hametim.
Page 82.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, v'sheshem tishim oto b'shtenu, katuv hayad nevi'echa, v'karazeh ze'amah. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzebaot, Melech kol haaretz, כבודו. יראתנו אדוני, אדוננו מעדיף שיכפר כל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, והושיענו והוא ישלימנו, ברחמיו תהא כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, אלוהיו
Shemo. We continue in personal prayer to the foot of page 100. For those who wish, there is a special Rosh Chodesh insertion on page 92. Feel free to be seated when you've concluded your personal prayer. As our bat mitzvah has already told and taught us, today is Rosh Chodesh, and as well as having a special Torah reading in honor of that, there are additions to our prayers, including what we are phrasing this morning as a taste of Hallel. I invite you to turn to page 560 and rise for the opening of the Hallel Psalms, our Psalms of Ascent, in honor of Rosh Chodesh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivav
Psalm 113.
בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מהבועז, הייתה יהודה לקודשו, ישראל ממשלותיו, הים רב הינוף, הירדן היסוף לאחור, ההרים רקדו חיילים, גבעות כבני צאן, מלך הים כי תנוס, הירדן תיסוף לאחור, ההרים תרקדו חיילים, גבעות כבני צאן, מלפני אדון פולי הארץ, מלפני אלוה יעקב, האוכי הצור הגמיים, חלמיש למעיינו מים.
And on the foot of page 569, Baruch Ata Adonai, Melech Mulal Batishbachot, blessed are you, Eternal One, Sovereign who is praised in song. As we turn back to page 104 and remain standing for Seder Kriyat Torah, the order of reading Torah on this Rosh Chodesh morning. Page 104.
ציון
Just for those of you who are wondering, the Kiddush lunch just turned into Kiddush afternoon tea because that was like the slowest hakafar I've ever seen in my life. As long as it's not on me.
Sorry.
It's not because the rabbi spoke for so long, okay?
I was scared.
You were having fun and taking Torah to the people. That's great. That's what Bat Mitzvah is about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making a joke because that's what I do. So you would have already heard from our Bat Mitzvah that we have picked a particularly unique Torah reading for her Bat Mitzvah this morning. On Rosh Chodesh, the tradition is to break with the weekly Sidra, to not read the portion of the week, but rather read a portion associated with Rosh Chodesh. The traditional reading for that comes from Leviticus and is a reading which explains in great detail with great colour and light the priestly sacrifices on the occasion of the new moon. A long time ago you read that with Rabbi Ettlinger and decided that it might be nicer to read the creation of the moon and the sun and that cycle from Genesis. The events that have passed since then have made this a doubly more appropriate reading for us to be reading on this occasion. And so I'm going to allow our Bat Mitzvah to introduce it to us.
Chodesh Tov.
Chodesh Tov.
As I explained in my welcome at the start of the service, today is the first day of the month of Shevat. This month is almost entirely focused on the festival of Tu B'Shvat, which will be celebrated in 2 weeks' time. The name of the festival is actually its date. 2 is the pronunciation of the Hebrew letters of the number 15, and it falls on the Hebrew month of Shevat. Traditionally, Tu B'Shvat was not a Jewish festival. Rather, it marked an important date for Jewish farmers in ancient times. The Torah states, when you enter the land of Israel and plant its tree for food, you shall regard its fruits as forbidden. 3 years it shall be forbidden for you not to be eaten. The fruit on the 4th year shall be offered to the priest of the temple, as a gift of gratitude. The fruit on the 5th year and all subsequent fruit was for the farmer. This law, however, raised the question on how farmers would mark the birthday of a tree. The rabbis established the 15th of the month of Shevat, a general birthday for all trees regardless if they were actually planted. In modern times, Tu B'Shvat has become a symbol of Jewish sensitivity to the environment. In many ways, Tu B'Shvat is an ancient Jewish Earth Day that educates Jews about the support and responsibility of caring for God's creation. This is demonstrated by environmental activism. I think this is particularly interesting because my Bat Mitzvah, Devar Torah, as we're in the middle of the greatest environmental crisis in this country's history. Like many of you, I believe strongly that the bushfires are a powerful reminder of our responsibility to care for the world God gave us. The creation story that I am about to read reminds us that we are on earth, not as its owners, but merely as its custodians, and we are not permitted to do with it as we wish. Jewish tradition teaches us that the human domain over nature does not include a license for the environment. The Talmudic concept of Bal Tashlit, do not destroy, was developed by the rabbis into a principle that asserted our obligation for conservation. We are the guardians of the earth, which is God's gift to us. In Bereshit 2:15, humans are commanded to work and keep the earth lavodah u'shama. The Hebrew lavodah means to serve. It also is the indication of to pray. Caring for the planet, therefore, is an act of worship. Our task is to take over the world as its current and future generations. We are connected over living beings. We have the power to destroy or maintain a beautiful planet we call home. This is a responsibility we must use wisely. We understand that what happens in the natural world is not just a matter of chance. Taking these principles into account, I have recently run an environment club at my past school. I am also donating my time to assist the St. Kilda mums sort through donations, assuring that they're ready for delivery to those who have been affected by the bushfires. I am also donating some of my gifts to charities set up to support the wildlife and human life affected by the fires that have recently destroyed parts of our beautiful country. I feel that everyone can do a little bit to support our precious environment. We can go a long way to repair the damage caused by these disasters.
Amen. And so we bring Torah into the center of our reader's desk. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock you over. And we pick up exactly where you told us where we should start, which is right at the very beginning. I'm going to invite, as she's coming up, Sharon, who has been your tutor and your guide through this journey, to stand alongside you. And we're going to begin with a series of 4 aliyot culminating with our bat mitzvah being called to Torah, although she will read the preceding 3 aliyot before celebrating her own with the final. And so for this first aliyah l'Torah, it is my privilege to call to Torah some of your aunts and uncles. Yamdu l'Torah, Shimon ben Moshe Mendel, Daniel ben Moshe Mendel, Nurit bat Liora, Chana bat Chaya, Russell, Daniel, Nicole, and Ellie. We are picking up in verse 1 of chapter 1, book 1, and even though I don't have it written down here, I happen to know if you want to follow along in the Chumash, which is the larger blue book underneath your seats, that is on page 18, because the editors thought 18 would be a very good place to start the Torah commentary. Sing, please. Yes, please. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. I need someone to hold there, please. Guys, come closer.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayita tohu ve'vachu ve'choshech al pnei tehom ve'ruach Elohim me'achefet al pnei chamayim vayomer Elohim yehi or vayhi or vaya Elohim et ha'or ki tov vayatel Elohim vein ha'or uvein ha'choshech vayikra Elohim le'or yom ve'lachoshech kara laila vayhi erev vayhi boker yom re'nai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, ve'hayam l'chanu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
May Mishaberach Avadenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov Yimiten Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah. May the Holy One have blessed our forefathers and foremothers, bless the four of you in honor of Torah, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of the new month, but most particularly in honor of this young lady as she becomes bat mitzvah, as she finds a way to connect with our people's ancient story and reconnect with its future. And as being part of this celebration with her today, we hope that you have many more occasions to celebrate with her as she takes on challenges like she has and demonstrates her ability to meet those challenges like she is. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together, V'nomar Amen. I invite you guys to come across. You can wish them Mazel Tov. As we continue this celebration of family, calling to Torah, the grandparents of our bat mitzvah, Yamdu l'Torah, Michael bat Sarah, Moshe Mendel ben Aharon, Benjamin ben Chaim, V'Chaya bat Esther. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Elohim yehi rakia betoch hamayim vehi matil vein mayim גדל בין המים אשר מתחת לרקיע ובין המים אשר מעל לרקיע ויהי כן ויקרא אלוהים לרקיע שמיים ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר
יום שני.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה אמת וחיי עולם ונתן בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. And so we continue in fours. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. The Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers, bless the four of you as well. In honor of Torah, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of new months, new beginnings, but also what is imminently going to be the newest adult in our community, and that which we are celebrating today, as well as that which she is demonstrating today. I will let you in on a bit of a secret. That second aliyah finishing with Yom Sheni, that's the one she didn't quite finish in my office and ended up with a face in the couch. Because that's how awesome she is and how far she's come. And how don't apologize, it's awesome! Stop apologizing! You rock! May you have many more occasions to see her take up challenges, to listen to her say that she can't, to remind her that she can and she has and she will, and then to celebrate her when she does. Because there could be no greater pleasure, no greater honor for grandparents. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together from the Mar, Amen. Mazel Tov. You guys think long enough to wish them Mazel Tov. We continue the celebration of family as we call to Torah parents of our Bat Mitzvah. Yamdu Torah, Tami Bat Michael, V'Moshe Mendel, V'Aria Benjamin V'Chaya, and along with them, we will invite up two bring the basket. She knows what's happening. She wants to be the first to catch them. Two basket holders who are not being called to Torah. They just don't want to be far away from everyone else because they have FOMO. Could you open up the Torah and show your parents where it is that you're reading from? We are continuing with day 3, which is all about the environmental lessons you reminded of us in your Devar Torah. While day 4 will take us into Rosh Chodesh. That is it there.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. There are some kids who've been to shul before.
המים מתחת השמיים אל מקום אחד ותראה היבשה ויהי כן ויקרא אלוהים ליבשה ארץ ומקווך המים קרא ימים והיה אלוהים כי טוב ויאמר אלוהים תדשא הארץ דשא עשב מצוי עשרה את פרי עושה פרי למינו אשר זהבו על הארץ ויהי כן ויקרא ותוצא הארץ דשא עשב מצוי עשרה למינו את עושה פרי אשר זהבו למינו והיה אלוהים כי טוב ויהי ערב ויהי
בוקר יום שלישי.
Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless the two of you who are called to Torah and the two of you who came with just to support your parents. In honor of Torah, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of that, but most particularly in honor of this and the incredibly broad smiles that rest across all of your faces right now. This is a really significant occasion, yes, for your daughter, but it is also a very significant occasion for the two of you as parents. Having successfully, checkbox, brought child to Torah, that is a milestone in your parenting journey and one that you should feel very, very, very proud of, having done well, having encouraged her and having inspired her throughout. Our hope and our prayer is that you continue to encourage and inspire her, to remind her of that which she is capable of and support her as she sets her mind to meeting those challenges. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together, V'nomar, Amen. I'm going to ask our bat mitzvah to go have a seat for a second, once she misses mazel tov to her parents. And the reason she's having a seat is because, you don't have to go that far. There are plenty you can if you want to. Anywhere you want to go. Just sit down. Just on the floor if you want. Great choice. Now the reason she's sitting is because in order to become bat mitzvah, she actually has to accept the call to Torah. She doesn't have to read Torah, doesn't have to give 2 divrei Torah, doesn't have to lead 3/4 of the service, just has to stand up when she hears her name called. And then she's yotzeh, she's fulfilled the obligation. The rest is, as we say, window dressing. So now the biggest test, does she actually know her Hebrew name? Ta'amod, ta'amod, ta'amod l'Torah, na'arat ha'bat mitzvah hayom, Sarah, bat Aryeh, v'Tami.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher barach banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu leTorah tov. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Vayomer Elohim Yehi me'orat b'kiyah hashamayim lehavdil bein hayom uvein halala v'hayu le'otot u'lemo'adim uyamim v'shanim v'hayu limorot b'kiyah hashamayim laha'ir al ha'aretz v'yichlen v'yaz Elohim et shnei chamarot hagdalim v'et ha'or hagadol le'memshelet hayom v'et ha'or hagadol le'memshelet halayla ve'et hakakavim v'yitenu dam Elohim b'kiyah hashamayim laha'ir al ha'aretz ve'limshol bayom uve'layla ulehatil bein hayor uve'in ha'choshech v'yikras Elohim ki tov v'yi erev v'yi boker yom revi'i. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And for you too, we say, Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of those who stand alongside of you, in honor of those that have been called to Torah before you, in honor of all of these people that have come here on a beautiful public holiday morning to celebrate with you, but most particularly in honor of the kavod, the honor that you have given yourself in having well and truly earned the title of bat mitzvah, a daughter of our covenant, adding your link, your passion, your creativity, your values to our shashelet HaKabbalah, our train of tradition, and giving each and every one of us great confidence in our future. because our future is built upon incredible young people like you. I'm going to invite you to take a step back, and I'm going to invite Idor to take a step up as we join together in offering a blessing as old as our people itself. I'm going to ask your mum and dad to place their hands upon your head. This threefold blessing was a blessing first offered by Aaron to his sons, and then from priests to people. In more recent generations, from parents to children. Some call it the Birkat Kohanim, others the Birkat Mishpacha. It's just the best blessing we got, and a blessing you really deserve on this occasion. May God bless you and keep you. May the brightness of our tradition shine down upon you and be gracious to you. Wherever it is that this journey leads you, may it continue to be a place of meaning, a place of joy. May you continue to have that smile right across your face, and may you most of all continue to find peace as we make some space and wish you, wait, we're still waiting? Idor, you ready? Mazel tov! As our younger congregants return to their seats, I remind them of the lesson they learnt in Kindi. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Oh, look at that. Sharing is caring. With Torah out before us, we take a moment to honor it. And so I invite you to all rise as we ask David to come up and lead us in Hadba. You can all congratulate in advance David afterwards, because this is the hardest Hagbar of the year. Torah is being dressed, I'd like to invite Jan and Oli up to come and offer blessings for our country and for the people and state of Israel. Torah could rise. These blessings can be found in the prayer book on page 113, or at least the prayer for Israel can. The prayer for Australia is an alternative that we come to use in this congregation. Australia always.
Lord, bless our country of Australia and all its people. Let us have dreams in this historic land of dreamers. Let the hot winds from the desert fire our imagination. Let the red soil of the plains keep us rooted to the things that matter. Let the waters of our rivers, lakes and oceans flow into our hearts, giving us depth and understanding. Keep our eyes open to the beauty of this land. May we strive to keep its beauty present and strong. Help us to remember those who have lived in this land before us and those who have made it their home in more recent times. May we never be lazy in the work for peace. May we honour those who have died in defence of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they lead with justice and compassion. Let our compassion be like the encompassing coastlines of our continent. May acceptance, kindness and peace live steadily within this ancient and enduring land. Amen.
Amen. And on page 113, a prayer for the people and state of Israel.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for those who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. We remain standing as we turn back to page 110 and return the scroll to the ark. Tilly and Aidan are going to come and open the ark for us. Please be seated. I made a promise to the mother of our bat mitzvah, and I will do my best to keep it, which means I will be extremely brief. But in addition to all of those things that we are celebrating this weekend, all the things that I mentioned, your bat mitzvah, Australia Day, Rosh Chodesh, Shevat, the beginning of the new year for those who celebrate and follow the Chinese lunar calendar. We are also commemorating something significant this weekend. I'm sure many of you would have seen or read or heard about it, that being the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. the date which is celebrated outside of the Jewish community as Holocaust Commemoration Day. Within the Jewish community, we actually picked, or the Knesset, the Parliament of Israel actually picked not the liberation of Auschwitz, but rather the beginning of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Those within Israel at the time in the years following the Shoah wanted a date or an anniversary of action and activism, not something that required external forces to bring about. Either way, whichever day one observes, it is a significant commemoration. And so I was thinking, Gemma, how is it that I can pull all of these things together? A new month, a new year, significant anniversary of a tragic event, perhaps no greater tragedy than it in the events of the Shoah, and your bat mitzvah. And the answer comes in one of the gifts that you are going to be presented with today. Some of the gifts that Rebecca in a few moments will present to you will be gifts from our congregation, some from our youth movement Netzer, some from our broader movement, and one of them is a very new gift from Progressive Judaism Victoria. And you will be the first person, Gemma, to receive this gift, but you will be followed. There will be 46 following you this year as we celebrate you as our first bar or bat mitzvah of 2020. We have 47 in all this calendar year. And each of you will be presented with one of these. Yes, it's a tree. And it is an entirely appropriate gift to give someone on Rosh Chodesh Shevat, in advance of Tu B'Shvat, as you explained to us. But it's also an incredibly important symbol of what you are doing today. When we think about the sadder anniversaries, the commemorations rather than the celebrations of this weekend. Because what you are is a young woman committing to a Jewish future. A Jewish future which once and many thought was inconceivable. What you are doing is literally planting yourself in the fertile ground of our tradition and committing to doing everything you can to grow tall and strong and to find opportunities for connection and connectivity, for meaning and for purpose, and most particularly for belonging. Gemma, I've got no idea where this journey is going to lead you. But what I do know is you've begun it extraordinarily well. You have placed your roots deep down into the soil of our tradition. And your parents and grandparents, family and friends have put around you all the shelters and all the protection that a young sapling like this might need, in the hope that you, like this sapling, grows tall and strong. Because if you can do that, then our tradition, our people, our history and our heritage will grow tall and strong with you. And there's no greater thing that we can ask for. So yes, I wish you Chodesh Tov. Yes, I wish you Mazel Tov. Yes, I wish you Happy New Year. But also, I wish that you take care of this plant as well as you have taken care of your plants. And you allow this plant to grow with you. I don't know where you're going to put it. They're panicking right now. But you'll find a place and you'll grow with it. Mazel Tov. My friends, let's turn to page 586 in our Siddurim and let's rise for our concluding prayers. If I could ask Russell to come up with your children to open the ark.
Bye.
We often close the curtain slowly for dramatic effect, but on that occasion it was two sisters fighting over a chord. We remain standing for just a few more moments, as even though we are so filled with joy and celebration, we recognize that there are many in our community who don't stand for such celebration at this time, and instead are recognizing the loss of a loved one. In our community, we lost two members and friends this past Shabbat, and they will be laid to rest in the coming days. But in addition to them, we recognize those who Shloshim we are observing and call by name: Diana Bliss, Rabbi Brian Fox, Alan Gelfand, Charlotte Janot, Diana Kahn, Greg Kerr, Louis Lustig, Robert Sample, Leslie Selby, Cyril Spencer, and we also recall the three brave American firefighters who lost their life just before Shabbat: Jeffrey Keaton, Samuel McPaul, and Andrew O'Dwyer. To these names, whose passing is very recent, we also recognize the Yotzeit of Rosette Aronson. And at this time, I invite others who would like to call by name anyone that they are remembering to do so as my eyes meet yours. David Elperstein. We think of those named as well as those whose names lie deep within our hearts as we offer the prayer for life and gratitude for the gift of life, even though it has been taken from us. The words of Kaddish Yatom on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah v'amad divrach Yirutei v'yamlich mochutei v'chaychon v'yamachon v'cheidechol Beit Yisrael v'agalav izman karev v'imru Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam amaya amaya Yiparach v'yishtabah v'yipa'ah v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadah v'yitalei v'yitalal Shmei dekudisha le'elam min kol brichata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata daminan ba'ama v'imru Yehei Shlam Rabbah min Shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony above bring peace to us, bring peace to all who mourn, but most of all, bring blessing to those who we recall. And to that we say, Amen. I invite you to be seated. As Gemma, I ask you to come back on up. I have your first presentation. No, Rebecca will continue with the rest. Gemma.
This morning. And a very warm welcome, everyone, to Temple Beth Israel from the Board of Governance. Welcome to the Seligman and Aronson families and all extended family and friends here today. Lovely to have so many people here and also to have a weekday service. Gemma Mazel Tov, you did a fantastic job leading the service. Your reading of the prayers and your laning was beautiful. I think you're an example of what Rabbi Lazaro calls practice makes permanent. Everyone here knows you and is so proud of you today. They know that you love your singing, your dancing, your music, and everything Disney, so I'm told. All the family members I spoke to describe you as loving, as passionate about the things that you feel strongly about, and that you are a person of honesty and integrity. And we could see that as you taught us the meaning of Tu B'Shvat and our responsibilities as Jews in the modern world to care for the planet and be good custodians of the natural environment. This message couldn't be more timely, and also the giving of the first of our trees from our roof body, the Progressive Judaism Victoria. You've told me you've enjoyed your tutoring with Sharon, and she described you as enthusiastic and conscientious about the process. This is not something that tutors often say. Gemma, I think you're smart, you're enthusiastic about the things that matter. You've told us you already donate your time to the Environment Club at your school. And so I welcome you as our newest member, and I know that as an adult you will make a difference in the world. And so we have some things for you. We have your bat mitzvah certificate. This shows that it really did happen here today. We have a voucher which will assist you to go to the next Netzer camp. You've been to Netzer camps?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We have a book on our beautiful stained glass windows that adorn our sanctuary, and we have a certificate of membership to our worldwide body, the Union for Progressive Judaism. And we also have a Kiddush cup, which you can use on Friday nights for your Shabbat dinners. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
And the only other thing I want to say is that perhaps you might join us on Tu B'Shvat on the 7th of February when we will be going to Frogmore near Geelong to a beautiful property for celebration, for a picnic and for tree planting. After we're making Kiddush in the foyer after the final song.
So we will conclude our service with the same song, the same words with which we opened our service, but a very different melody. This is a melody we've come to connect with one of the phrases of our Prime Minister. How good is it?
How sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Chodesh Tov, everyone. If you can join us in the Friedlander for Kiddush and followed by a lovely celebration. If you head out to door 2 and make your way into the Friedlander Beit Midrash, you'll see that the lighter juice on offer is juice, it's grape juice, and the darker is wine. If you could take some wine and some grape juice and make your way to the Friedlander. And if our bat mitzvah can put her way through all of her friends and family, we would love to see her at the front of the Friedlander so we could kiddush and motzi and join in this lovely celebration. We haven't said a lesson. Fine. If we can get you to work all your way through your family and friends and come forward, because there are a few people waiting for us to make kiddush. As you're coming in, I'll repeat that the lighter is wine. Okay. Other way around, sorry. Other way around. Lighter is grape juice, darker is wine. I did check. And while we're still waiting for our bar mitzvah, let's join together in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. To that we'll add the words of Motzi. Baruch
atah Adonai,
Eloheinu
melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. And B'teavon. None. It's been a crazy month for me. I've been commuting Saturdays. It's good.